In this video, you'll learn step by step how to change the domain name that is being used by your Google Workspace. In case you don't know what that means, here is an example. Say you have Google Workspace set up and you have this domain example-a.com configured to use Google Workspace to receive emails. For whatever reason, you or your company has decided to change it so that instead of receiving email at example-a.com, you now want to receive it at example-b.com. And this is what we are going to do for this video. Let's go through the steps. The first thing to do is to add a new domain as a secondary domain. To do so, log into your Google Admin Console. Under Account, under Domains, select Manage Domains. Here you'll see the main primary domain that your Google Workspace is set up for. At the top, you can see an option to add a domain. Just click on that, and we enter a domain name here. Following the explanation earlier, we will enter example-b.com here, but for the sake of demonstration, we shall use an actual domain name. Make sure to select secondary domain and not the user alias domain. If you choose this option, you will not be able to set the new domain as your primary domain. Once you've done that, click on Add Domain and start verification. So this will take a little while, and Google will determine that they don't know that you own the domain yet. So the first thing they will ask you to do is to verify that you own this domain, and then just click Get Started. Google will do its best to determine the registrar that's hosting this domain name. In this case, they've determined this domain name correctly. If it's not correct, or if they don't detect it, just click on My Domain Uses Different Hosts, and they will give you these steps accordingly. But because I'm using this, I'm just going to click Continue. So the way that Google determines you own your domain is to ask you to create a TXT record with a given value. So let's go ahead and copy this value. We can go to Namecheap, which I've already opened up in another tab here. The step for adding this domain is specific to Namecheap. Different registrars will do it differently. I will not be able to advise what your registrar will do. What I can do though is to show you how to do it in Namecheap. Click on Add a Record and scroll down until you find TXT record. Under Host, in Namecheap's case, I will just enter the add symbol, and for the value, I'll just paste the value that I copied just now. And for the TTL, I'll just select Automatic and I click Save Changes to save it. Because I'm not going to actually save this domain as a secondary domain, I'm going to skip saving this record. And once it's done, it will take a little while for your domain to get verified. And when it's done, we could actually come back here, and you will see that this new domain will have been set up, and it will say verified instead of verified domain here. And when that is done, when you click on Change Primary Domain, and then this dialog box pops up. Before proceeding, it's worth pointing out that you may want to keep your secondary domain running for a while and test that it can receive email before you swap it out as your primary domain. This is to prevent the case whereby you swap your primary domain out with the new domain and then come to realize that you can't receive email at this new domain. Now that would be a problem. Once you are satisfied that the new domain can receive email, and you'll be ready to use it as the new primary domain. To do that, just click Continue from this dialog box. And we then are brought to this page. Here we can just specify the domain that we want to switch to. When you click on the search for a domain box there, you will get a drop down of the secondary domain you just added. Just select it and click Change Primary Domain, and you're done. While you wait for your domain to get verified, you could do other things in the meantime. One of those things is to set up the MX records at your DNS registrar. Here in Namecheap, The setting is quite simple. You can just go to Mail settings and select Gmail. But if your registrar doesn't support that, you can still do it manually. Now the way that this is done for different registrars will vary, so I can't give you the exact steps, but the values to enter, you can actually do a quick search in Google to get them. Just search for Google MS Records and you will get this value. Simply enter an MS record and set the priority to 1 and the value to smtp.google.com and you'll be set.